Hi Taurus, welcome back to my channel. This is a reading to have a look and see if someone from your past is or wanting to make or will make a comeback into your life. It is a general reading. If you'd like a private reading with me, all the information that you require is below in the show more section. Otherwise, this is for Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. So let's get into it. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. Will they come back to you? Will they make a comeback into your life? Okay, 3 cards. Okay, let's start off with the Queen of Pentacles. Can represent Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo, or an earth sign here, earth energy. The Queen of Pentacles really represents someone who's feeling quite stable, or someone who's feeling quite deeply rooted in a situation. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is the last queen of the deck, so she does symbolize someone going through a lot, okay? The Queen of Pentacles is also very traditional and likes things that are familiar. So things that she knows, connections that she's built. Things that are familiar, things that, appeal to her in this way. So she brings in an energy of there is someone that wants to come back here because they feel like A, you have too much of a strong connection to ignore, or B, they feel like they've done so much things with you that you're all that they know, if that makes any sense. Look, maybe you lived together, maybe you did cooking classes together, maybe you did, you had traditions in your relationship that you did on a weekly, daily, or even monthly basis. And this, it's all about tradition, because the Queen of Pentacles conforms to tradition. And there is someone here that wants to make a comeback because they feel home with you. Okay, there could be a sense of deep rootedness here. It can also be evolution and self-growth. Right now, I feel like there is potentially someone here who could be changing. Okay, metamorphosis, growth. This is all coming up around this person, and it's absolutely possible for them to be this way or grow since your disconnection. But I feel like the extending branches can be an analogy of someone extending the olive branch. Maybe they're seeking forgiveness. The good news is that you have the Star card here, which is all about healing and forgiveness and hope. So I do feel like there is someone here who wants to come back. Before we jump the gun, however, we do have the Nine of Swords present in this reading. It can represent air energy, but the Nine of Swords is insecurity, lack of confidence, presumptions. You can see he looks up to the sky here, and it's a downward. Well, in this deck, it looks like an upward spiral, but it's almost like he's making it worse than what it is. He's looking at this spiral, this vortex, and he drags himself in it. And I almost feel like there's someone right now, they're presuming that you might react badly, or they're presuming the worst for some reason. Look, with breakups and disconnections, we do have the need for closure. We do have separation anxiety, the longing, the detachment, especially if it was quite sudden. It often leads us to replay things in our minds. And I feel like there's someone who's constantly either focusing on the bad, so they're still focusing on what went wrong in the relationship, or they're not picturing a very bright future. Emotionally speaking, I think they do want reconciliation with you, and it could definitely happen. The Star card has come up, which represents the time of Aquarius. So it could be in between January 20th to Feb 18th that this person reaches out to you. But I feel like with the Nine of Swords, they're uneasy with the thought of coming back to you for some reason. Either they're fearful, or they're making up scenarios in their mind. Maybe they're replaying things, but they're only replaying the negative. And, that happens. That's a cycle. That's part of the process of loss and grief when we're disconnected with a person. But after that subsides, after the initial feelings of anger or shock or frustration or sadness or guilt, after these initial feelings wear off, we're left with the yearning, okay? We're left with the more emotional part of the brain, which assesses the situation from a more emotional standpoint, and then suddenly this person is reminiscing on the good, on how far they've come as a person, on who they were as a person, what sort of qualities you brought out in them, or the things they love or admire about you most, Taurus. So right now they're still very much in their head, but the notion of cycles, that upward vortex, I feel is an indication that this person, you're constantly in their mind. And it comes back around like cycles, and they're going through phases at this point in time, and there's anxiousness and insecurity that is definitely tied into that. But the good news here is that they have the Star card, okay? And in terms of this person coming back, I think there is a strong likelihood for that to happen. The Star card indicates things that are destined for us. It can point to compatibility. When we wish upon a star, so if you're wishing for this person to come back, I do sense that might aid things to occur faster, Taurus. The Star card is also forgiveness or reconciliation. Why? Because the star is represented by the water bearer, and water in this instance is purification. It's ritualistic, it's forgiveness, it's emotion, or it's a pouring out of emotion. So I do sense this person will come back. It's either you're destined to lay down roots once more, or you're destined to have some sort of reconciliation or moment of healing together. So I do feel this person is a part of your destiny. That there's a reason why they're coming in around you once more. Either lessons need to be learnt for you or them, or you're destined to have something once again. You're destined to have another emotional connection. And I say emotions because the fish are here in this deck, and fish represent emotion. It's a sign of Pisces, which is a highly emotive energy. It's very intuitive, and it's a very attached, being a water element. So I feel like in this instant, Taurus, if you're wanting this person, I do sense they can come back to you. And I think for some of you, you might be able to see these signs through social media, through other people, because the Star card can be fame and it can be things in the public eye. It could even be that if you want to speed this up, there might be a possibility that you could maybe post a picture where the two of you used to go frequently, or because the star can be signs. Okay, the Star card is signs. In the biblical tradition, it was the Eastern Star, I believe, that led the three wise men, and I feel like it's a sign. There's something to do about signs and symbols that will potentially bring this person to you, or bring them back into your life. But it is harmony, it is fate, it is destiny, but it is healing. Healing in the situation. So I do feel like someone wants to come back and remedy what happened between the two of you, wherever it went wrong, whoever's fault it was or it wasn't. There could be mediation that this person wants. And I feel like on some part of them, they're still hopeful, despite the insecurities that might creep in. I think a part of them is still hopeful that they can reconnect with you, Taurus. Again, of course, each situation is different, and of course everyone feels differently about this person, whether they're an ex, whether you never dated them, whether they're an ex-spouse, whether you lived with them, you married them, you've shared a lifetime together. Obviously every situation is different, but I do sense a high possibility for this to happen with a lot of Taurian exes, okay, or people that you were once involved with romantically. I will leave it at that though, Taurus. Thank you again for tuning in. I hope it's been enjoyable.